So I just made the best ketogenic broccoli, cheddar, pepper jack. See, what else did I use? Pepper jack and Monterey cheese soup ever. Like, this is like the best. Oh, and it's got this nutritional yeast. This is 100% natural, non-fortified. It's non-GMO, gluten-free. But if you think you're going to get B12 from this, you're out of luck. There is no B12 in this at all. There's B vitamins in this, but there's no B12. And I only put like a tablespoon of this in because the ingredients are questionable, which means they may have like particles of lead or something, I've heard. I don't know about this brand, but I've heard some do and some don't. It's just a risk you're taking. However, I figure, well, it's just a tablespoon and it does give it a very, very cheesy flavor. So, that way you don't have to put quite as much cheese in. But I'm going to have to tilt the camera down because this camera won't show unless I adjust it. And there's the soup. Isn't it beautiful? It's got bone broth. It's got heavy cream, broccoli, several different cheeses. So I'll tell you how I do it. This is the first time I ever made this soup this way, and I'm so glad I did. This is better than any other cheddar broccoli soup I've ever had, ever. I'm not even kidding you. Wow. I'm so glad I found the keto diet, and I am losing so much weight, like a pound of weight a day. And I'm not having the typical ketogenic, sugar withdrawals like a lot of people talk about. Mine are very, very manageable because I'm using bone broth every day with lots of mineral salts. It's so good. Wow. So I always have bone broth cooking all the time in my slow cooker because you can do that with bone broth. So what I did, I put the heavy cream in the pan, not the slow cooker, another pan. And I got that warmed up, and then I poured in the bone broth I had in my slow cooker. I put a strainer over the pan, and to not get any like bone marrow in there or anything, just the broth. And I'm talking about bone marrow. It's not the same as the one with the meat on it. These are just bones only, and there's no meat on them. Just the bone and the marrow in the middle. That's all it is. You mostly have to ask for these at the butcher. I get mine at Whole Foods because I don't usually sell them over the counter. You have to buy directly from the butcher. So those have been cooking for a couple days. So I poured that bone marrow broth into the pan with the heavy cream. And I got that going a little bit, not too high, just to a really low simmer. And I added just a pinch of nutmeg, my mineral, there goes my camera, my essential mineral sea salt, which is like a gray sea salt. I can't tell you how much. I don't measure when I cook. Cooking to me is like an art form, so I don't really measure. I just go by how it looks and how it tastes. This is really good. Some pepper, and I used about a tablespoon. I did kind of measure that. I got a tablespoon of cream, coconut cream. That's not the same thing as the milk. It's the heavy, thick. It's very thick. And when you scoop it out, it's just thick cream. I put about a tablespoon of coconut cream in here. And again, I put about a tablespoon of the yeast for just a more cheesy flavor. And it does have B vitamins, but it does not have B12 in this because it's natural. And I've heard that nutritional yeast is not a way to get your B12 anyway, but that's not what I'm talking about right now. Anyway, and then I put little tiny broccoli florets in, really small. I like them small. And then I just let that cook. Oh, and I put a little bit of paprika in. And I just let that cook until the broccoli got kind of soft, maybe 20 minutes or so. And then I started adding my cheeses. So I took like a handful of Monterey Jack, 2 handfuls of the Monterey Jack, a handful of the cheddar, and that's it. And then I put it in the bowl after that was all melted. I put it in my bowl, and I got my shredder, and I just shredded the spicy cheese, the pepper jack cheese on, just so it's just a little spicy on top, and it's so good. Wow. I would have this every morning probably. I can't believe how good this is. So it's 10:30 now, and this is my first meal. I haven't really been hungry. I got up at like 7 or 8, and I haven't really been hungry, but I just kind of felt like this because I had bone broth cooking. I'm like, do I want bone broth again? Like I've been eating in bone broth for the past 3 or 4 days now. No, actually longer, because this is my 7th day on the ketogenic diet. So yeah, 6 whole days, nothing but bone broth in the morning. And then I don't get hungry until like later on in the afternoon. So I go, I don't really want bone broth, but I'm not really that hungry. Oh, wait a minute, I'll just make soup with it. So that's what I did. This is really good. Yep, so that's my breakfast. And later I plan on having a shredded chicken with a little bit of artichoke, roasted artichoke, wrapped in a paleo wrap. And it's really good because I had a paleo wrap last night. Not that I wasn't even hungry. I just wanted to try what it was like because I never had them before. So I'll be probably doing that a little bit later. We'll see how it goes. So take care.